We're at Mid-Cities Dental this morning, broadcasting until 11 o'clock, 556 West Bedford Euless Road. It's Sweetie, but I don't think the suite's going to matter because it's so clearly the dentistry office here. There's a big sign that says Mid-Cities Dental, Hearst, Texas, 76053. If you want to put it into your GPS, come on over here, and we want to see you. MidCitiesDental.com. They're a sponsor here on this station, and we want to thank Dr. Kyle and Martha Eberlein for their support of Catholic Radio. And it sounds like you guys are responding and coming out here and making them your dentists, like I have done, and my wife has done as well. Martha Eberlein is one of the owners here at Mid-Cities Dental. She and her husband Kyle are members at Good Shepherd Catholic Parish in Colleyville, and she recently went to El Paso and for a mission trip a couple of weeks ago, and she wants to talk about welcoming Christ in the migrant. So Martha, how you doing? Good to see you.
Great, thank you.
Make sure you bring that thing right around there so we can, all right, so was this a parish mission that was sponsored by Good Shepherd, or what inspired you to go?
Yes, it was a mission trip that was sponsored through Good Shepherd Catholic Community.
Yeah, I know we talked before about how this whole issue of migrants is very politically charged, and there's so much, and in a 10-minute interview we're not going to be able to cover everything, but I think one thing that everybody can agree on is that migrants are people. They're human beings, and they are to be loved. Now, the politics aside, and how many should come in, and whether the wall is built and all that's not the issue here. But you went out there and you actually interacted with some of these folks, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about it. What was how big of a group went, and what was your experience?
Well, there were 6 of us that went. We drove down, and it was a 10-hour trip, and we had a great time. And we got to stay with the Columban missionary priest, and we had Father Bob, that was the one who took us around to different locations, and we met with the Border Patrol, and we met with the diocesan migrant refugee office, and they help migrants and refugees with legal problems, but there's just so many people to help.
Yeah. One of the things I love about being a Catholic, and that's not to say other faiths don't believe this as well, but I think it's one of the principal beliefs is the dignity of the human person. I mean, the moment a human being is conceived in the womb, they should be given all the protections, and the 102-year-old that doesn't have any function left, and maybe they're in a coma, is still a human being, of course, and deserves dignity. And throughout the entire portion of the life, regardless of our state or where we are, or the church has always said, let's just at least treat everybody like human beings, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, what was your experience down there? Did you get to meet some folks? Any takeaways that you want to share with our listeners?
Sure. We went to different shelters, and one of them was the Annunciation House, and we were able to serve them meals. Actually, we had a group of 42 migrants come to the Columban mission, and we served them a dinner, and we interacted with them, and we just had a great time, and and they're so humble, they're just full of humility, and they're so grateful to be here. And it was just really nice being with them, and just, recognizing that, they're people, and whether they stay or not, that's not for me to decide. But, we need to love people where they're at.
Yeah, so were you working with, was it a government agency? Was it a church? Is the church and the government working together, or what?
Well, I think that they probably do El Paso is very unified in this whole thing. So they got a lot of things, most things covered, from, meeting the migrant right at the border, going to the immigration, and then from immigration they get let out, and then they go to the shelter homes, and a lot of them were Catholic facilities and shelters, and then at that point they find rides for them. No, they have to have a sponsor to get into the United States. If they don't have a sponsor, they can't. They have to have birth certificate. If they have kids, the kids have to have birth certificates. So once they get in, they go to the shelters, and then the shelters will call up their sponsors and set up their rides. Most of them were Greyhound rides. And these migrants, they go from El Paso to Washington, state of Washington, or Maine. I mean, they have long bus rides. And then the shelter provides food for them to take on their trips, because these people jelly sandwiches and just filled up the sacks. And So, and they get one bottle of water, and then they just have to fill it up wherever they're at. But I just found that El Paso was very unified and worked really well together. And I mean, you don't see migrants on the streets or anything like that over there. So there's a lot of order down there.
Yeah, very good. Martha Eberlein is my guest, broadcasting live, Mid-City Center. I saw a few people come in. I don't know if anybody got any of the gift certificates yet. Have we given? Okay, we haven't given away any of the gift certificates yet. I'm really surprised. I know some people may be listening and you're really far away and you're thinking, I can't go all the way to Hearst. I'm in, Weatherford, or I'm in DeSoto, and when it isn't feasible. I got to get to work in 5 minutes. I got a meeting. Well, that's okay. But if you are able to come out here, we want to see you at Mid-Cities Dental, where we're broadcasting until 11 o'clock. I still have two more guests that we're going to be talking about, Young Catholic Professionals of Fort Worth with Brian Tratcher, and also a pilot named Matt Vaughn, who travels the world in his profession and has had the opportunity to go to Mass in different countries, including China. The word Catholic means universal, and I'm just interested in talking to him about how similar the Masses, of course, they're in different languages, and just what's kind of the common bond among Catholics around the entire world as we celebrate the universality of our church. Well, Matt will be able to tell us about that. And interestingly, Dr. Eberlein was telling us about this Dr. Jackie Clavin. Well, that just happens to be Matt Vaughn's wife. And so it's all interconnected. You guys just kind of worked this out so well. So come on, see us, 556 West Bedford Euless Road, Suite E, Hearst, Texas, 76053, between Hearst View and Precinct Line. The website is midcitiesdental.com. If you're one of the next 4 people to come on out here, you can get a gift certificate to Corner Bakery, Chick-fil-A, or Starbucks. At least $10 each of those gift certificates. Plus you get some food and coffee and fruit and muffins and all kinds of stuff. We don't want Martha to have to, either take all this home with her or, give it to somebody else. So come on and see us. And again, if you want to buy those raffle tickets for the car on March 8th, my cell phone number is 972-757-2990. Buy 5 tickets for $100 for a chance to win that Ford Mustang. And at the end of this hour, we're going to do a drawing for 5 more tickets and 2 tickets to the Summer Speaker Series event with Father Robert Spitzer on July 18th. Boy, this is like a data dump. It's just like so much information. I can imagine people are like, what? There's a lot going on. All right, so back to our topic at hand. This is Martha Eberlein, welcoming Christ in the migrant. It is unfortunate because it's become so politicized, and sometimes even just that word migrant may just make people nervous. And it's so cool that, of course, we know as Catholics, we got to treat every single person with love and concern and compassion. Are you planning another trip, or what's the future hold now that you've been on this one?
I don't know that I'm going to go back anytime soon. Maybe next year or 2 years. I think our church does it every 2 years, so I'll just see where I'm at that point. For me, I guess what I've taken away from that is that, we just, I need to, I want to let people know that if you want to volunteer and go help, there's a great need. I mean, we walked into one shelter and they asked us all if anybody was in medical, and nobody raised their hand. And I said, well, I'm in dental. And then the sister that was in charge, she put me in charge of her. She says, okay, you'll be my nurse for the afternoon. And I was, taking in the migrants, asking them what was wrong with them. And I'm Hispanic myself, so I'm a migrant myself, so I have a little compassion.
And you're fluent in
there.
Spanish, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I got to see families. I got to see little kids that were really sick. We were just giving them over-the-counter medications. But there's a need. If you feel compelled to go and work down there and volunteer, I highly recommend it. It really was a wonderful experience. Is
there something, somebody may say, gosh, I want to help, but El Paso in these border towns are pretty far away. I'd like to help here in Fort Worth or in Dallas or work with Catholic charities. Is that the first thing you do, or talk to your parish, or what's their first step if they want to be involved?
Well, I think, Catholic Charities, works with the refugees and the migrants. And, I mean, there's a need for foster parents. We have good friends that are foster parents to a Guatemalan young teenager boy whose life was completely changed because, you know, he was able to have a home here now. And, you know, out of all the countries, I think I saw more Guatemalans than anything else. Guatemalans and Hondurans.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much, and I want to thank you for everything you do. Whenever we have these live broadcasts, I know you have so much, and you know I'm kind of surprised we haven't had anybody claim these gift certificates yet. You want to kind of run these down, and I figure we'll give people a choice because maybe you like Chick-fil-A more than you like Corner Bakery, or you want Starbucks more than Chick-fil-A, and so you've got 4 different gift certificates for anybody who will physically come here. And if we don't give them away, then I have to take them, right? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not going to take them, but we do want people to come by and say hello and get some food and pick up one of these gift certificates, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So $25 to Corner Bakery, $20 to Chick-fil-A, $10 to Chick-fil-A, or $10 to Starbucks. And so thank you for buying those and for offering them up. And also the food over here is available. And in the past, you know, we've always had people that have come by and bought tickets. You can come by physically and buy tickets and get into that drawing. And then if you win, you know, you're here, right?
That's right.
So, all right. Well, Martha, thank you for all you do. Thanks for being a sponsor. And again, the message here is welcoming everybody as Christ would. And again, that doesn't mean, you know, we're talking about a political solution. We let the politicians take care of that. But as far as just being kind to people,
That's right.
I think that's the key, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Good chatting with you. And